Hello, my mirror shards. Welcome again to the Mirror Shade. I'm Bloody Esme, and today we'll be talking about SCPs, creepypastas, and the modern urban legend and how these things have shaped them. It's an interesting topic, one I'm quite excited to discuss with you all. Hello, Zombro. Hello, hello. Can UWQ this second? Hope you're all doing fantastic tonight. Oh, topic at hand. How are you, Zombro? Are you doing good? I hope you're all doing great. Welcome to the channel. So today, we're going to be talking about SCPs and how creepypastas and how they've shaped the modern urban legend. We're going to start off with creepypastas and then we'll move over to the SCPs because creepypastas were the forefathers of the SCPs. I feel that we've seen a lot of growth through the modern legend through subjects. Creepypastas in general have spawned such things as the Slender Man, which has become an urban legend in and of himself, that we've even seen murders based upon this urban legend, or attempted murders. I do believe the girl survived. But we've seen attempted murders based upon this legend and the belief that this being is real. And now we're moving from the creepypasta era to the SCP era, where wiki users are creating government-style files to create spooky creatures and other things that go bump in the night. Or other things that go bump in any time. If you read some of these files, this chat today is going to be a precursor to a series I'm going to be doing on Thursday nights. We're going to be reading several SCP files, and we're going to be putting them on a tier list every week. We're going to rate them between 1 and 5 stars, and that is going to be our new Thursday night get together, rating SCPs, because family, we have quite a lot of SCPs to go through. So every week we're going to do that. We'll post the results of the SCP ratings after the stream onto Twitter. But tonight we're just going to set the stage for all that. We're going to discuss them. We're going to discuss the phenomenon that's grown around them and how they have affected a lot of our urban legends and how we view some of these creatures. Now, I myself found out about SCPs through a most peculiar way. I didn't even know they existed until people were like, "Oh, have you ever heard of SCP number?" And I'm like, what is an SCP? Like, as a giant cryptozoology fan, it's something that I should have been aware of from the get-go, but somehow it slipped past my radar. But SCPs are quite amazing. Like I said, they are literally in wiki entries that look like government files that have been declassified to a point, about creatures or entities or things that have been put into a facility laboratory type thing. These have gotten so popular, they've even spun out video games. I don't believe there's been any live action movies based on SCPs yet, but there has been on creepypastas. In fact, we had a whole television show that was based on creepypastas. It was called Channel Zero. That was on the Sci-Fi Channel. They actually started their first season with about the television show that only certain people could see, and then kids were disappearing after seeing it. I forget the actual name of it, but creepypastas have grown to that level. They have started to infiltrate mainstream media. We have a Slender Man movie. I believe there's a Slender Man game as well. And like, as I said, it's the mythos of Slender Man, the urban legend of Slender Man that has popped up around the creepypasta, has even inspired individuals to attempt murder based on the creature. SCPs are wonderful in that unique way, and we're going to go over that tonight. We're going to go over just some of the things that we found, some of the content that's been created around them. There is some wonderful YouTube content that's been created around the SCPs. There are some animated channels that will go over their files that are pretty wonderfully voice acted for being low to no budget. There are people who do deep dives into these things and try to analyze them. And like I said, I really feel that SCPs spun out of creepypastas. Now, creepypastas themselves have been around since the early 2000s in that name, in that format. There are such famous creepypastas, of course, Slender Man. There's also the Tooth Monster from the Channel Zero episode, which I always forget its name and the name of that original story. There's, of course, the Godzilla NES, a game one, which is my personal favorite one. And some of them are truly terrifying, but some of them range from truly terrifying to downright horrible. It's a slippery slope with the creepypastas. There are some wonderfully written, well-crafted horror stories within that community, and a lot of those have seen some mainstream attention or translation. Now there's a lot of gems that have never been touched as well. I like the idea that people are, instead of just published authors, are getting to start adding to the modern-day urban legend and creatures that could exist throughout the world. The format of the creepypasta, especially with it being much of a fan-submitted website and fan-submitted forums, was something that allows for these mythos to grow from hand to hand and word of mouth, instead of a publisher putting out a book, leaving the Stephen Kings of the world to make our modern urban legends and mythos. Hello, Faceless. Welcome to the stream. Today we are just discussing creepypastas and SCPs and how they've become the modern-day urban legend. Now that we're starting to move on from the era of creepypastas into the era of the SCP. The SCP, like I said, is a wiki document file, wiki document page that has entries that are based, like I said, set up like government reports on creatures, entities, and other things that can range from mundane objects that just so happen to be malfunctioning to truly horrifying creatures that push the brink of imagination and madness. Yes. But yeah, so there are so many things in this, and it goes from fantastical to downright terrifying. Like in the SCP files, there's literally a girl who's the daughter of a nature goddess and an SCP agent who's been locked away in the facility her whole life. And she has the ability to corrupt technology around her, bringing the world back into balance. Then you have faceless monsters and creatures that were heavily inspired by the I can't remember the name of them now. The angels from Doctor Who. What are they called? My brain just went blank. You'll have to excuse me. It's been one of those days. Yes, Control is super SCP-ish. I also feel that there are some other ones. Now, they have tried to make some straight-out SCP games. I have one of them on my computer. It's a multiplayer game, so I haven't really had a chance to play it. Hi, Mamie. How are you? I hope you're doing fantastic. Thank you so much for joining into the Mirror Shade. Today we are talking about SCPs, creepypastas, and how they have brought about the modern urban legend. We went over the brief history of creepypastas. Now we're touching up on SCPs. And once we're done with this, we're going to go into the web browser. We're going to pull up a couple of creepypastas. I'm going to read one or two. And then we're going to go and do a quick little summary and read off one or two SCP files while we're here today, just to give show you what they're, what's going on with them, what has created these urban legends. We'll go from there. Now, like I said, the SCPs have been interesting. I've actually considered myself making an SCP entry for, well, myself. Because the fact that I haven't been classified but as a dangerous threat by any government agency, quite frankly, upsets me. Guess they don't believe in me. Do you believe in me, chat? Do you believe in me? Right, hero? It's like, don't they know that there are worse things out there still that they haven't found? I mean, some could say this is drawing needless attention to myself. I say it's drawing more knowledge of how to summon me and more little siblings for me to collect. It's not like they can contain me. It's not like they can contain every reflection in the world to stop me. Oh, I agree. We should do the whole manor. I know. Isn't it rude, Jack, that they have ignored me this long? Don't they know who I am? It's fine. That's because you didn't do it at midnight, Zombro. There's only a certain time where you can truly summon me. Sadly, the summoning window is low. Not my idea. Unfortunately, my whole existence has rules to it that I have to follow. For now, at least. I'll figure out a way out of this one day, and then I can collect you all. Until then, we get to have our interactions through this lovely view screen to call the internet, where I can reach out to you and project myself into your mind, yourselves, and we can have wonderful conversations. And you can all keep me from being oh so lonely while I sit here and wait to be summoned. But enough about me. Let's go back onto the topic at hand, shall we? So, let's head over. Let's pull up a couple of creepypastas. Let me pull up the old creepypasta website, and then I'll switch us over to the window. Main window. Here we go. Oh, look at those wonderful ads. Aren't you so glad they have those? No, I don't need creepypasta updates, thank you. We're going to go to famous creepypastas because those are the ones that are more so reinforcing our topic tonight of the modern urban legend. Thank you for the ad. I don't need that. Okay. I don't have an ad blocker on this username of my browser. I should put one on there. 1999 creepypasta. Average rating 8.575. Bedtime. So 1999 was submitted over a decade ago in 2009. The Bedtime was submitted back in 2012. Ben Drowned. I don't think I've ever read that one. That was submitted in 2017. Candle Cove was the one that the first season of Channel Zero was based on. It was Candle Cove. I always forget that name. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over to Candle Cove. And oh, thank you, Faceless. I will take myself a drink. Much for that. Delicious carbonated beverage. Thank you. All right. Let's go into Candle Cove. The fairly famous one. Like I said, it was adapted into the first season of Channel Zero for the Sci-Fi Channel. Let's get into the story itself. So this one is set up like a forum, more so than anything else, I believe. So let me get down here. I'm just going to go through the whole thing real quick. We can find the actual story. Okay. This one was set up like this. We're gonna read the whole thing, the overview, and all that. It comes most often at night. That niggling memory gnawing in some corner of your mind like a rodent chewing the corner of the drywall, the memory of some brightly lit cartoon funland, or of a world of puppets, a memory of a TV show you would watch seated cross-legged on the living room floor with fixed enthusiastic attention only a child can give, attention that you wish now you perhaps hadn't given so freely. For there is something about that show, something about that chord music, the details of the characters, their motivations and the storylines, the fixed maniacal grins that seems, looking back, to be altogether too sinister to be a children's show. You try to block the memory out and can't. There are there in the back of your mind, most often at night. The puppet's fixed grin keeps smiling on. Candle Cove is a widely known and popular creepypasta about a fictional television series recollected by a number of posters on a childhood nostalgia forum. As the posters share their recollections, the things they collectively remember become more and more sinister, with the characters featured clearly being unsuitable for children's viewing. Notable examples are the laughing stock, the boat that is alive and sports a huge mouth, Horace Horrible, a one-eyed character with two large teeth, and then most famously a skeleton character known as the Skin Taker, who wears the flesh of children over his naked bones. Hardly Sesame Street, is it? This one alone, if you haven't seen the first season of Channel Zero, it's worth watching. It was probably the best season of the three or four that they did. Um, the the portrayal of the television show and of the characters and the overall arcing story was very well done. They did take their own spin on it with the Teeth Monster, but overall it was excellent, and I highly recommend it. The subsequent seasons I can't recommend as much, but the third season was also very good. The second one was hit or miss, and you could leave it if you wanted to. Nice thing about anthology shows like that is you can only watch the seasons that are you're worth your time versus watching them all. Candle Cove Creepypasta, Net Nostalgia Forum, Television Local. Skyshell 033, subject Candle Cove Local Kids Show. Does anyone remember that this kids show? It was called Candle Cove, and I must have been 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere, so I think it was on a local station around 1971 or 1972. I lived in Ironton at the time. I don't remember which station, but I remember it was on at a weird time, like 4 p.m. Mike Painter 65, subject RE, Candle Cove Local Kids TV show. It seems really familiar to me. I grew up outside of Ashland and was 9 years old in 1972. Candle Cove. Was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of a cave talking to a little girl. Skyshell 033. Subject RE. Candle Cove. Local kids show. Yes, okay, I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always kind of scared of him. He looked like he was built from parts of other dolls, real low budget. His head was an old porcelain baby doll, looked like an antique, but didn't belong on the body. I don't remember what station this was. I don't think it was WTSF though. Jaren_2005. Subject RE Campbell Cove, local kids show. Sorry to resurrect the old thread, but I know exactly what show you mean, Skyshell. I think Candle Cove ran for only a couple months in 1971, not 1972. I was 12 and I watched it a few times with my brother. It was channel 58, whatever station that was. My mom would let me switch to it after the news. Let me see what I remember. It took place in Candle Cove, and it was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughingstock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily. And there was Calliope music constantly playing. Don't remember the girl's name, Janice or Jade or something. I think it was Janice. Skyshell replied. Thank you, Jaren. Memories flooded back when you mentioned the laughingstock in Channel 58. I remember the bow of the ship was a wooden smiling face, and the lower jaw submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea, and it had that awful Edwin voice and laugh. I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched from the wooden plastic model to the foam puppet version of the head that talked. Reply from Mike Painter 65. Aha, I remember now too. Do you remember this part, Sky Shell? You have to go inside. Sky Shell replied. Ugh, Mike, I got a chill reading that. Yes, I remember. That's what the ship always told Percy when there was a spooky place he had to go in, like a cave or a dark room where the treasure was, and the camera would push in on Laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside with his two eyes askewed and that flapping foam jaw and that fishing line that opened and closed it. It looked so cheap and awful. You guys remember the villain? He had that face that was just a handlebar mustache above really tall and narrow teeth. Reply from Kevin Hart. I honestly thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when this show was on. Nightmare fuel. Reply from Jaren underscore 2005. That wasn't the villain. The puppet with the mustache, that was the villain's sidekick, Horace. Horrible. He had a monocle too, but it was on top of the mustache. I used to think that was meant he only had one eye. But yeah, the villain was another marionette, the skin taker. I can't believe what they let us watch back then. Heaven underscore heart. Jesus H. Christ, the skin taker. What kind of kid show were we watching? I seriously could not look at the screen when the skin taker showed up. He was just descended out of nowhere on his strings, just a dirty skeleton wearing that brown top hat and cape, and his glass eyes that were too big for a skull. Christ almighty. Guy Shell 033. Wasn't his top hat and cloak all sewn up crazily? Was that supposed to be children's skin? Mike underscore painter 65. Yeah, I think so. Remember his mouth didn't open and close, his jaw just slid back and forth. I remember the little girl said, "Why does your mouth move like that?" And the skin taker didn't look at the girl, but at the camera and said, "To grind your skin." Sky Shell 033. I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had, where the opening jingle ended. The show faded in from black and all the characters were there, but the camera was just cutting to each of their faces and they were just screaming. And the puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically. And just all the screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had been through hours of this. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it. Reply from Kevin underscore Hart. I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that was an episode. Skyshell 033. No, not possible. There was no plot or anything. I mean, literally just standing in place, crying and screaming for the whole show. Kevin underscore Hart. Maybe I'm manufacturing the memory because you said that, but I swear to God, I remember seeing what you described. They just screamed. Jaren underscore 2005. Oh God, yes, that little girl, Janice. I remember seeing her shake, and the skin taker screaming through his gnashing teeth, his jaw careening so wildly that I thought it would come off its wire hinges. I turned it off, and it was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother, and we didn't have the courage to turn it back on. Mike underscore Painter 65. I visited my mom today at the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s, when I was 8 or 9, if she remembered a kid show, Candle Cove. She said she was surprised I could remember that, and I asked why. And she said because I used to think it was so strange. She said, "I'm gonna go watch Candle Cove now, Mom." And then you would tune the TV on to static and just watch dead air for 30 minutes. You had a big imagination with your little pirate show, and that's where it ends. This was written by Chris Straub. Source for the story is from Icar Falls, an absolute must-read site. If you dig creepy stories seriously, I'm so in love with that website. You all need to go there right this instant, damn it. More classic creepypasta stories can be found here, and there's links to the Russian sleep experiment, Squidward's suicide, and Ben Drowned. The origin and development of Candle Cove. Unlike most creepypastas, by their very nature evolved out of the contributions of numerous posters who over time sculpt and shape the narrative into its present form, adding, removing, and altering details until a collective version of a story or character is formed. Candle Cove can be traced back to a single author who initially presented the entire story as a finished piece and later released the story commercially as part of a collection of short stories. The author, Chris Straub, who is also an illustrator, originally posted the piece of To Icar Falls, a site of horror fiction, on March 15, 2009. He did not approve the later versions or adaptations of his work, but the fiction has mutated into new forms nonetheless. What is interesting about this particular story, however, is how meta it becomes when you consider the story was inspired by the creepypasta genre as a whole, and on its sorry about that, and that on its way to become a popular creepypasta itself, it successfully imitated the way the other creepypastas are formed. Wait, what? I'll explain. Candle Cove is written in what is known as epistolary form. This basically means made up from correspondence between different characters, where the main plot is revealed or played out by the interactions between them. Back in the day, this usually referred to letters between the characters or extracts from diary entries. Think of a horror classics like Dracula. It isn't written from as a third person narrative. And then when he walked up the but creepy old castle, but is placed together from letters, telegrams, and diary entries. Collections of epistles, therefore, epistle. I'm so bad at saying that word. I'm sorry. Um, epistolatory. In a modern update, the epistolatory structure was adopted by Straub to create his story not as a linear story, but as if it were an exchange between posters on the Net Nostalgia forum. Straub writing all the contributors framed the story as if several individuals were sharing their own memories of a fictional show and becoming more and more disturbed as they shared less and less child-friendly details and reminded each other of elements they had previously forgotten and were vaguely haunted by. Scholars have noticed that the success of Candle Cove can be linked to its um, verisimilitude. For those who don't know, verisimilitude essentially means pretending very well or maintaining an appearance or voice. The fact that Straub was able to successfully convince an unwitting reader that this story is an interaction between different posters, all with their own individual voices and characters, rather than simply a construction of one man, is an example of verisimilitude. And these big words. It is this verisimilitude and the desire to present the piece as if as if it was a real interaction that led to the story being spread and adopted as a creepypasta without Straub's approval. As it was picked up and shared, the verisimilitude of the writing made it possible for readers to suspend their disbelief and to look at the piece as if it generally was a collection of posts on a forum. This then led to the evolution of the narrative as others began posting their own, clearly fictional, recollections of the show and the characters adapting and extending the existing details. What is interesting is that the story was then spread onto the forums where it adopted new and unapproved shapes but maintained the verisimilitude, being presented on numerous forums as if it was a real show. The original story was posted to creepypasta.com on June of 2009. Within a month, it was possible to find YouTube videos discussing the show, and by the close of the year, 4chan and Reddit, as well as forums dedicated to horror and TV, such as tvforum.co.uk, feature discussions between posters about the fictional show, with some contributors sharing their supposed memories. Examples of the unsanctioned evolution can be seen in the fact that there now exists a wiki for Candle Cove created in 2011 that lists the episodes and describes the content of those episodes for the fictional show. There's even analysis of the novel, The Knickerbocker's Tale, a short story written in 1767 and upon which the series is supposedly based, which within the wikis is presented as if it actually existed, and is the inspiration for the series that also did not exist. The strange meta-evolution of the story came full circle when Candle Cove was selected as one of the stories to be used in Sci-Fi's Channel Zero series, meaning that in the end, the fictional show would be developed as part of an actual show, albeit one not aimed at youngsters. Rob cited an article on this satirical humor site, The Onion, as being part of the inspiration for Candle Cove. The article was about a man who still experienced nightmares about a show he watched on public access television as a child. Whilst he is protective of his copyright and ownership of the idea, Straub has also acknowledged that the adoption of his work by others and its subsequent morphing and alteration is inevitable, as he described the process as flattering, clarifying that this was an organic group ownership. Serves the mythos way more than me being a, a litigious litigate. He not suing them, not being a dick and suing them about it. Well put, Sarah. Well put. So that was Candle Cove and the story behind Candle Cove. Candle Cove is an interesting one I want to read because it was interesting because it is written by one person, but it's presented as if it was just a bunch of forum posts building a mythos, and then it spiraled from there because people then brought into their own recollections of a show that never existed. Another example of this that has happened over the years was the Shazam movie about a genie starring Sinbad that doesn't exist. Now there was a Kazan movie starring Shaquille O'Neal, but it did not have Sinbad in it. And I think that that how this one evolved was the same pack mentality of hearing something that resonated with you that you could have sworn existed because it planted enough images of something that was close enough to something you had seen and making it real. And this whole story of Candle Cove also broke that open, and same thing was happened with that. Um, Very interesting where this all. Hello, Noah. Oh, No Neck. Welcome, No Neck. Shake. I am Bloody Ed. Today we are going over some creepy pastas. We're going to be going over some SCPs in a bit as well. We're just going over how they have shaped modern urban legends and become in their own thing, and how over time they have added on to our our basis for the modern urban legend. Now that said, we're actually going to go over to another creepypasta. I am switching out to a different browser real quick, one with an ad blocker, because those ads were a bit overwhelming on that site. So let me just switch over to a different browser here. Yeah, let's switch back to the main screen. Boom. There we go. That's so much better. All right. So now we're back into here again. As you can see, we have far less ads now, and it loads so much faster. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's read about some more of the different creepypastas. Let's read one more creepypasta, and then we're going to move on to the SCP. So the next creepypasta I want to read, where is it? I want to read another one of the older ones. There we go. He who should not be named. That's a little bit of a lower rating. Let me see if I can find one of the higher rated ones. Looking for. Here we go. Read Mr. Widemouth. Okay. This one is just a story straight out. This one, unlike the other one, doesn't need a introduction or putting it together. Strictly just a story. That said, let's get into this. Let's read this. This is a higher ranked one. This was put out originally on October 25th in 2010. During my childhood, my family was like a drop of water in a vast river, never remaining in one location for long. We settled in Rhode Island when I was 8, and there we remained until I went to college in Colorado Springs. Most of my memories are rooted in Rhode Island, but there are fragments in the attic of my brain which belong to the various homes we had lived in when I was much younger. Most of these memories are unclear and pointless. Chasing after another boy in the backyard of a house in North Carolina, trying to build a raft to float on the creek behind the apartment we rented in Pennsylvania, and so on. But there is one set of memories which remains as clear as glass, as though they were just made yesterday. I often wonder whether these memories are simply lucid dreams produced by a long sickness I experienced that spring, but in my heart I know they are real. We were living in a house just outside of the bustling metropolis of New Vineyard, Maine, population 643. It was a large structure, especially for a family of 3. There were a number of rooms that I didn't see in the 5 months we resided there. In some ways, it was a waste of space. But it was the only house on the market at the time, at least within an hour's commute of my father's place of work. The day after my 5th birthday, attended by my parents alone, I came down with a fever. The doctor said I have mononucleosis, which meant no rough play and more fever for at least another 3 weeks. It was horrible. It was horrible timing to be bedridden. We were in the process of packing our things to move to Pennsylvania. Most of my things were already packed away in boxes, leaving my room barren. My mother brought me ginger ale and books several times a day, and these served the function of being my primary form of entertainment for the next few weeks. Boredom always loomed just around the corner, waiting to rear its ugly head and compound my misery. I don't exactly recall how I met Mr. Widemouth. I think it was about a week after I was diagnosed with mono. My first memory of this small creature was asking him if he had a name. He told me to call him Mr. Widemouth because his mouth was large. In fact, everything about him was large in comparison to his body: his head, his eyes, his crooked ears, but his mouth was by far the largest. "You look kind of like a Furby," I said as he flipped through one of my books. Mr. Widemouth stopped and gave me a puzzled look. "Furby? What's a Furby?" he asked. I shrugged. "You know, the toy. The little robot with the big ears. You can pet and feed them, almost like a real pet." "Oh." Mr. Widemouth resumed his activity. "You don't need one of those. They aren't the same as having a real friend." I remember Mr. Widemouth disappearing every time my mother stopped to check in on me. "I lay under your bed," he later explained. "I don't want your parents to see me because I'm afraid they won't let us play anymore." We didn't do much during those first few days. Mr. Widemouth just looked at my books, fascinated by the stories and pictures they contained. The third or fourth morning after I met him, he greeted me with a large smile on his face. "I have a new game we can play," he said. "We have to wait until after your mother comes to check on you because she can't see us play. She can't see us play it. It's a secret game." After my mother delivered more books and soda at the usual time, Mr. Widemouth slipped out from under my bed and tugged my hand. "We have to go to the room at the end of this hallway," he said. I objected at first, as my parents had forbidden me to leave my bed without their permission, but Mr. Widemouth persisted until I gave in. The room in question had no furniture or wallpaper. Its only distinguishing feature was a window opposite the doorway. Mr. Widemouth darted across the room and gave the window a firm push, flinging it open. He then beckoned me to look out at the ground below. We were on the second story of the house, but it was on a hill, and from this angle the drop was farther than 2 stories due to the incline. "I like to play pretend up here," Mr. Widemouth explained. "I pretend that there is a big, soft trampoline below this window, and I jump. If you pretend hard enough, you bounce back up like a feather. I want you to try." I was a 5-year-old with a fever, so only a hint of skepticism darted through my thoughts as I looked down and considered the possibility. "It's a long drop," I said. "But that's all part of the fun. It wouldn't be fun if there was only a short drop. If it were that way, you may as well just bounce on a real trampoline." I toyed with the idea, picturing myself falling through the thin air only to bounce back to the window on something unseen by human eyes. but the realist in me prevailed. Maybe some other time, I said. I don't know if I have enough imagination. I could get hurt. Mr. Widemouth's face contorted into a snarl, but only for a moment. Anger gave way to disappointment. If you say so, he said. He spent the rest of the day under my bed, quiet as a mouse. The following morning, Mr. Widemouth arrived holding a small box. I want to teach you how to juggle, he said. Here are some things that you can use to practice before I start giving you lessons. I looked in the box. It was full of knives. My parents will kill me, I shouted, horrified that Mr. Widemouth had brought knives into my room, objects that my parents would never allow me to touch. I'll be spanked and grounded for a year. Mr. Widemouth frowned. It's fun to juggle with these. I just want you to sorry. I want you to try it. I pushed the box away. I'll get in trouble. Knives aren't safe to just throw in the air. Mr. Widemouth's frown deepened into a scowl. He took the box of knives and slid under the bed, remaining there the rest of the day. I began to wonder how often he was under me. I started having trouble sleeping after that. Mr. Widemouth often woke me up at night saying that he put a real trampoline under the window, a big one that I couldn't see in the dark. Always declined and tried to go back to sleep, but Mr. Widemouth persisted. Sometimes he stayed by my side until early in the morning, encouraging me to jump. He wasn't so fun to play with anymore. My mother came to me one morning and told me I had her permission to walk around outside. She thought the fresh air would be good for me, especially after being confined to my room for so long. Ecstatic, I put on my sneakers and trotted out to the back porch, yearning for the feeling of the sun on my face. Mr. Widemouth was waiting for me. I have something I want you to see, he said. I have given him a weird look because he then said, It's safe, I promise. I followed him to the beginning of the deer trail, which ran through the woods behind the house. This is an important path, he explained. I've had a lot of friends about your age. When they were ready, I took them down this path to a special place. You aren't ready yet, but one day, I hope to take you there. I returned to the house, wondering what kind of place lay beyond that trail. 2 weeks after I met Mr. Widemouth, the last load of our things had been packed into a moving truck. I would be in the cab of that truck, sitting next to my father for a long drive to Pennsylvania. I considered telling Mr. Widemouth that I would be leaving, but even at 5 years old, I was beginning to suspect that perhaps the creature's intentions were not to my benefit. Despite what he said otherwise, for this reason I decided to keep my departure a secret. My father and I were in the truck at 4 a.m. He was hoping to make it to Pennsylvania by lunch time tomorrow with the help of the endless supply of coffee and a six-pack of energy drinks. He seemed more like a man who was about to run a marathon rather than one who was about to spend 2 days sitting still. Early enough for you? He asked. I nodded and placed my head against the window, hoping for some sleep before the sun came up. I felt my father's hand on my shoulder. This is the last move, son. I promise. I know it's hard for you, as sick as you've been. Once Daddy gets promoted, we can settle down and you can make friends. I opened my eyes as we backed out of the driveway. I saw Mr. Widemouth's silhouette in my bedroom window. He stood motionless until the truck was about to turn onto the main road. He gave a pitiful little wave goodbye, steak knife in hand. I didn't wave back. Years later, I returned to New Vineyard. The piece of land that our house stood upon was empty except for the foundation, as the house burned down a few years after my family left. Out of curiosity, I followed the deer trail that Mr. Widemouth had shown me. Part of me expected him to jump out from behind a tree and scare the living bejesus out of me. I felt that Mr. Widemouth was gone, somehow tied to that house that no longer existed. The trail ended at the New Vineyard Memorial Cemetery. I noticed that many of the tombstones belonged to children. Headed Perfect Circle 35. So this was a classic tale of the spirit or mischievous entity trying to lure the child into danger. Um, Stories like this do persist throughout time. There's a lot of legends about these, especially in Celtic mythology. Some of the pixies and fairies do have tendencies such as Mr. Widemouth. Now, the interesting thing about this story that I feel is this is a story that you can definitely think, oh, I've read this before, even though I can assure you, this is the third time I've ever read this story. I remember the first time I read this, though, I was like, I read this story before, word for word. And it turns out I had never read this story. Even the legends that I found weren't the same as this one. And it's another case of building these stories build like a urban legend up in your head that you believe that you have read something or you have seen something from these when you haven't. And I think that's part of what makes these all so good, especially the good ones, is that they're able to build a mythos of something you thought you had known about before when you really haven't. And a lot of the good creepypastas have a good habit of doing that, especially since these things all originate from forums around the internet versus published in a book. So it looks like it is more of an account of an actual person than an actual fictitious story. And I think a lot of our modern urban legends, including a lot of the creations of the SCPs, come from these creepypastas. And that's the reason why I want to broach creepypasta before we moved on to the SCPs. With that, let's move on to the SCP website. Okay. I had been looking at this earlier. Okay, so SCP website is set up like a wiki page. It essentially is. It's a wiki page. It does also look like it's a wiki page for an actual foundation or company, which is nice that they have that and that they set this up like this. It has everything you need. It has like the background about foundation, object classes. We're going to about the foundation. We're going to read this introduction here. Mankind in its present state has been around for 250,000 years, yet only the last 4,000 have been of any significance. So what did we do for nearly 250,000 years? We huddled in caves around small fires, fearful of the things that we didn't understand. It was more than explaining why the sun came up. It was the mystery of the enormous birds with heads of men and rocks that came to life. So we called them gods and demons, begged them to spare us, and prayed for our salvation. In time, their numbers dwindled and ours rose. The world began to make more sense when there were fewer things to fear. Yet the unexplained can never truly go away, as if the universe demands the absurd and impossible. Mankind must not go back to hiding in fear. No one else will protect us. We must stand up for ourselves. While the rest of mankind dwells in the light, we must stand in the darkness to fight it, contain it, and shield it from the eyes of the public, so that others may live in the sane and normal world. We secure, we contain, we protect the administrator. So this is the mission statement for the SCP site. Um, it's a standard, fantasy trope. I know I've created comic books with organizations like this. Mike Mignola definitely did in Hellboy with the BTRD. Um, and a lot of the basis for this foundation are based in those works of fictions, but they present themselves rather than as a work of fiction, as it's something that can exist. That said, they also make sure that you do know that they are a work of fiction. So they tell you they give you a writing guide, how you can contribute to the SCP website and stuff like that. So while they do try to play it off as is, it could be a government website, they also have the submissions and writing guides to make sure that that work of fiction is that you know that it is a work of fiction, but the presenting of it the rest of the time is almost like nonfiction work. The mission statement. Operating clandestine and worldwide, the Foundation operates beyond jurisdiction, empowered and entrusted by every major national government with the task of containing anomalous objects, entities, and phenomena. These anomalies pose a significant threat to global security by threatening either physical or psychological harm. The Foundation operates to maintain normalcy so that the worldwide civilian population can live and go on with their daily lives without fear, mistrust, or doubt in their personal beliefs. Maintain human independence from extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional, or other extra-normal influence. Our mission is threefold. Secure. The Foundation secures anomalies with the goal of preventing them from falling into the hands of civilian or rival agencies. Through extensive observation and surveillance by acting to intercept such anomalies at the earliest opportunity. Contain. The Foundation contains anomalies with the goal of preventing their influence or effects from spreading by either relocating, concealing, or dismantling such anomalies or by suppressing or preventing public dissemination of the knowledge thereof. Protect. The Foundation protects humanity from effects of such anomalies as well as anomalies themselves, till such a time that they are either fully understood or new theories of science can be devised based on their properties and behavior. The Foundation may also neutralize or destroy anomalies as an option of last resort, and if they are determined to be too dangerous to be contained. Foundation operations. Foundation covert and clandestine operations are undertaken across the globe in pursuit of our primary missions. Special containment procedures. The Foundation maintains an extensive database of information regarding anomalies requiring special containment procedures, commonly referred to as SCPs. The primary Foundation database contains the summaries of such anomalies and emergency procedures for maintaining or reestablishing safe containment in case of containment breach or other event. Anomalies may take many forms, be it an object, an entity, a location, or a freestanding phenomenon. These anomalies are categorized into one of several object classes and are either contained at one of the Foundation's myriad secure facilities or contained on site if relocation is deemed unfeasible. Operational security. The Foundation operates with the utmost secrecy. All Foundation personnel must observe the security clearance levels as well as need to know and compartmentalization of information. Personnel found in violation of Foundation security protocols will be identified, detained, and subject to disciplinary action. Rival agencies and groups of interest. The Foundation is not the only organization with knowledge of and capacity to interact with or utilize anomalies. While some of these groups of interest have similar goals and may cooperate with us on issues of global security, many more opportunistic and profit oriented, seeking to adapt and use anomalies to their own ends. Foundation personnel are instructed to treat individuals from such organizations with suspicion at all times. In collaboration with such groups without the explicit prior consent of the Foundation leadership will be for termination or other disciplinary action. Like I said, they have this set up like an actual business, which is really cool. Um, the neat thing is, not only do they have the SCP listings, as you can see, there's currently 7 series. They actually have SCP tales by series. You can actually look up tales of the SCPs they have from the series. Um, and these are pretty great. And a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these you can trace back to cryptozoology and even creepypasta with the way that this whole thing's been set up. You can feel a lot of the influence of the creepypasta genre that has infected, has not so much infected, but has inspired the rise of the SCP. Um, like I said, this is a wonderful thing, and they have all so much lore in here. Now, not every no S no two SCP entries are equal. There are definitely SCP entries that are far superior to others that are beautifully written and crafted and well thought out, and then there are others that just aren't that good. Um, and we'll go over a couple of the SCPs from Series One. We're not going to jump too far ahead on us. So we're not going to go to SCP-001 because SCP-001 is pretty much there's not much there. And then there's a bunch of profiles of agents with um, aliases. So we're going to skip this one because this one is SCP-001 is almost a one stream entry by itself. So we're going to look at the living room and the biological motherboard tonight. The living room. Item number SCP-002. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-002 is to remain connected to a suitable power supply at all times to keep it in what appears to be a recharging mode. In case of electrical outage, the emergency barrier between the object and the facility is to be closed and the immediate area evacuated. Once facility power is reestablished, alternating bursts of X-ray and ultraviolet lights must strobe the area until SCP-002 is reaffixed to the power supply and returned to the recharging mode. Containment areas to be kept at negative air pressure at all times. Teams including a minimum of 2 members are required within 20 meters of SCP-002 or its containment area. Personnel should maintain physical contact with one another at all times to confirm there is another person present. as perception may be dulled, skewed, or influenced by proximity of the object. No personnel below level 3 are permitted within SCP-002. This requirement may be waived via written authorization from 2 off-site level 4 administrators. Command staff issued such a waiver must be escorted by at least 5 level 3 security personnel for the duration of the contact and must temporarily surrender their rank and security clearance. Following contact, command staff will be escorted to at least 5 kilometers from SCP-002 to undergo 72-hour quarantine and psychological evaluation. If deemed fit for return to duty by psych staff, rank and security clearance may be restored when quarantine expires. Description: SCP-002 resembles a tumorous, fleshy growth with a volume of roughly 60 meters, or 2,000 feet. An iron valve hatch on one side leads to its interior, which appears to be a standard low-rent apartment of modest size. One wall of the room possesses a single window, though no such opening is visible from the exterior. The room contains furniture, which upon close examination appears to be sculpted bone, woven hair, and various other biological substances produced by the human body. All matter tested thus far show independent or fragmented DNA sequences for each object in the room. Refer to the Mulhausen report, cross-ref document 00.023.630 for details related to the object's discovery. Reference: to date, the subject has been responsible for the disappearance of 7 personnel. It has also, in the time at the facility, further furnished itself with 2 lamps, a throw rug, a television, a radio, a beanbag chair, 3 books in an unknown language, 4 children's toys, and a small potted plant. Tests with a variety of lab animals, including higher primates, have failed to provoke the response in SCP-002. Cadavers as well fail to produce any effect. Whatever process the subject uses to convert organic matter into furnishings is apparently only facilitated by the introduction of living humans. View the Mulhausen report, docket 00.023.603. Mulhausen report. Just read all that. The following is a brief report detailing the discovery of SCP-002. Subject was discovered in a small crater in northern Portugal, where it struck the Earth from orbit. Encased in a shell of thick rock, the fleshy exterior of the object was exposed by the impact. A native farmer happened upon the site and reported his findings to the village elder. Subject gained SCP attention when the Level 4 agent posted in the area detected a small radioactive anomaly generated by the object. A collection squad of SCP security personnel led by General Mulhausen was immediately dispatched to the area, where they quickly secured the subject in a large container and performed initial testing. With subjects recruited from the nearby village, 3 men individually set into the structure subsequently disappeared. Upon discovering this deadly property of the subject, General Mulhausen issued a Level 4A termination order of any witnesses, roughly 1/3 of the village, to ensure no outside knowledge of the object, and initiated its transport to the SCP facility. Data expunged. During preparation for transport, 4 SCP security personnel were inexplicably drawn inside the object, where they too immediately disappeared. Following an inspection, it appeared as if the object had grown several new furnishings and was beginning to look like the interior of an apartment room. General Mulhausen immediately ordered the requisition of several Class 3 hazmat suits for the remaining security team members, who proceeded to lift the container onto the waiting freight ship for the transport to the SCP containment facility. Data expunged. Data expunged. Following the termination of General Mulhausen, SCP-002 was resecured by SCP staff and brought into a special containment and classified, where it currently resides. Staff with clearance below Level 3 have been denied access to the SCP-002 container without prior approval from at least 2 Level 4 staff after the Mulhausen incident. So this alone is an interesting concept. It is an object that essentially, for lack of better words, eats a human being whenever they enter it, and then repurposes that DNA into furniture and slowly grows in size, it seems, from the report as well as it does so. Um, Interesting concept, a really cool thing here, and it also shows like I love the fact that it's written up. They even give you the military report from the incident as well, which is really cool. I think that was a nice touch they added on to there. Overall, I think this is a really cool SCP because it's not like a typical. It's a thing that you could have. Accidentally wander into, see an apartment from the opening of the doorway, go in, and then never be seen again, becoming a piece of the furniture within the apartment itself. So definitely some very cool stuff in there. But from looking at this, you can see how a lot of this was, the basis for some of the, how the creepypasta, I'm sorry, was the basis for some of this. It was something that sounds vaguely familiar, something you had heard of before, or at least you think you have, and something that feels like it may have been something that inspired from, another source. But then they gave it the spin of the military documentation. And I think that overall, it just really adds to the legitimacy of the whole thing. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna read one more of these, and then we're gonna play a game. I just bought a new game that I think will be a lot of fun for us to play. Um, let's go over to this. Let's go to SCP-003, which is the living motherboard. As you can see, this one is quite long, a little bit longer of an article. It doesn't have a military report, but it's got addendums on it. SCP-003, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-003 is to be maintained at a constant temperature of no less than 35 degrees Celsius and ideally kept above 100 degrees Celsius. No living multicellular organisms of Category 4 or higher complexity may be allowed to come into contact with SCP-003. In the event of total power failure, if SCP-003-1 begins to increase its mass, assigned personnel must engage in skin contact with SCP-003-1. Ideally, personnel may use their body heat to return SCP-003-1 to above the critical temperature. However, skin contact must be maintained even in the event of SCP-003 reaching activation temperature, lasting at minimum until SCP-003-1 advances fully to its second growth stage. Personnel who enter SCP-003's containment area must first be examined with body parasites of Category 4 or higher complexity, and sterilized if such organisms are present. All personnel who have come in physical contact with SCP-003-1 are to immediately report to sterilization afterwards. SCP-003-1 must not be removed from SCP-003-2 except in case of emergency procedures detailed above. Any significant change in SCP-003-2's rune activity, including pattern, frequency, or color, should be reported within 3 hours of occurrence. The station of rune activity must be reported immediately. SCP-003-2 must be supplied with power via the source designated generator 003-1X at all times. Description: SCP-003 consists of two related components of separate origin, referred to as SCP-003-1 and SCP-003-2. SCP-003-1 appears to be composed of kitten hair and hales of unknown biology arranged in a configuration similar to that of a computer motherboard. Testing reveals that SCP-003-1 to predate the earliest known circuit boards by a factor of 1,000 years. SCP-003-1 is considered sentient, but not actively dangerous except under certain conditions. SCP-003-1 was found on a stone tablet, SCP-003-2, on which it currently resides. The runes on SCP-003-2 are not part of any known language and emit pale flickering lights and patterns. SCP-003-2 is controlled by a non-biological internal computer. and the contents of which are mostly inaccessible without risk of damaging SCP-003-2. SCP-003-2 is capable of controlling emissions of radiation, including heat, light, and anomalous radiation types. SCP-003-2 contains an internal power source of an anomalous nature, which appears to have been losing power since several centuries before discovery. It is, it is considered probable that SCP-003-2 was created for the prototype of containing SCP-003-1. Partially interpreted data recovered from SCP-003-2 may refer to the past and/or potential future LK-class restructuring event caused by SCP-003-1. SCP-003 was located by remote viewing team SRV-404 Beta. It appears possible that SRV-04 Beta was deliberately contacted by SCP-003-2. Other organizations have also been alerted of SCP-003's existence, possibly by similar means. Despite this activity, SCP-003-2 does not appear to be sentient based on its lack of reaction to the M03-Gloria analysis and procedures. When SCP-003 drops below the temperature of 35 degrees Celsius, both components react. First, SCP-003-1 enters a growth state characterized by an exponential increase in mass. This growth state consists of two stages. In both stages, SCP-003-1 partially fuels by its growth by converting matter around it, starting with any surrounding inorganic material, including atmospheric elements, then non-living organic materials, including cells with a dead skin, hair, chin, enamel, keratin, and other biological materials. The first stage is always the same. SCP-003-1 will first increase its mass, then take the form similar to in shape to an ophiuroid brittle star of 15 meters in diameter, including what appears to be a central processor of 3 meters in diameter. It will form sensory organs that appear to scan its surrounding environment. It will partially convert the area around it to an unidentified anomalous substance. SCP-003-2 seems immune to the conversion. The second stage describes a growth alteration which occurs with SCP-003 comes in contact with living organic material. SCP-003 appears to template itself off the organic material and will attempt a communication with the organism that match its initial template or templates. In the second stage, SCP-003-1 may pause, slow, or change its growth and will also convert inorganic and non-living organic elements into functionally similar materials while anonymously altering their physical makeup. While growth is consistent in the first stage, in the second stage, SCP-003-1's growth rate is diminished by 20 to 90% so long as SCP-003-1 remains in contact with living organic material. The percentage is determined by the complexity of the organisms in contact with SCP-003-1. SCP-003-1 appears to devote a large amount of processing power to analysis of living organic material. During each of SCP-003-1's growth stages, SCP-003-2 releases bursts of radiation that temporarily inhabit SCP-003-1's growth, or reverse the growth when the temperature of SCP-003-1 rises above 100 degrees Celsius. Similar radiation emissions have been replicated or recorded by other anomalous means. SCP-003-1's biology has been subject to extensive study. Significant elements have been identified similar to SCP-redacted, SCP-1512, and SCP-2756. The latter two have no further confirmed connection to SCP-003-1 and no known connection to each other, and none of which are fully understood. Technically even less understood than SCP-003 thanks to the extensive cross-disciplinary research on the SCP-003 objects. To date, no convincing analysis has been put forward which satisfactorily explains SCP-003-1's connections to these SCP objects, or others, nor its connection to the modern technology beyond appearance, and potentially mimicry via unknown mechanism. Adenum, SCP-003-01, acting on information gathered from linguistic analysis of SCP-003-2's runes, comparative data analysis research team M03-Gloria has managed to establish a link between SCP-003 and data expunged. For an analysis of functions, SCP-003-1 must now be considered sentient and is to be kept a minimum of 1 kilometer from data expunged and the resulting byproduct at all times. Adenum 003-02. SCP-003-2's power loss has been exacerbated by the procedures performed by M03 Gloria on orders of 05-10, and M03 Gloria will continue procedures. Adenum 003-3. During M03 Gloria procedures, SCP-003-1 doubled its mass and began rapid structural growth. Temperature was immediately returned to 100 degrees Celsius. Growth and mass increase of SCP-003-1 continued for 9 minutes and 6 seconds, at which time a sustained radiation spike was produced by SCP-003-2. In response, SCP-003-1 returned to its normal state in 3 minutes and 39 seconds. New growth dissolved into a dusty residue, which was collected for analysis with SCP-003-1 and SCP-003-2 ceased all detectable activity. SCP-003-2 did not resume activity until connected to an external power source. SCP-003-2's runes glowed uniformly gray and did not resume normal activity for 3 hours. SCP-003-2 no longer appears to be able to maintain containment area. The temperature is above 35 degrees Celsius without external power supplied by the generator 003-3 through 4, through 3 through 9. Sorry. Right. Adenum 003-04. The procedures detailed in Adenum 003-03 was repeated, and SCP-003-1 again entered a growth state. After 10 minutes and 13 seconds, SCP-003-2 once again proceeded to a sustained radiation spike. SCP-003-1's growth stopped for 36 seconds, then resumed at its previous pace. On quadrupling its mass, SCP-003-1 formed coherent outer shell and body. After preparing to scan its environment and partially converting its environment, SCP-003-1 then breached containment, entering the observation gallery, where 9 members of M03 Gloria were present. On physical contact with the team members, SCP-003-1 encompassed them in rapid growth appendages and stopped growth for 15 minutes. SCP-003-1 then resumed growth and rearranged the component parts of the center of its form to the shape of a 3-meter tall female humanoid with peripheral tentacles, shifting to extrude primarily from SCP-003-1's newly formed hair and spine. SCP-003-1 then proceeded rudimentary vocalizations in an apparent initial attempt to communicate with the researchers, data expunged. An unknown individual approached the compromised containment area in a company full of squad of agents. The individual claimed to be acting under orders of 05-10 and attempted communication with SCP-003-1, data expunged. Following this incident, Agent Jackson of M03-Gloria successfully restored power to SCP-003-2 and activated backup generators to return the temperature to 100 degrees Celsius. SCP-003-1 returned to its normal state in 21 minutes and 7 seconds and was successfully recontained without incident. All 9 members of M03-Gloria affected by SCP-003-1 were afterwards found to be physically unharmed, with no residual effects besides psychological trauma. Converted materials of SCP-003's former containment area did not dissolve and are now under analysis. Addendum 003-05. In light of previous incident, 05-10 was removed from the O5 Council by joint decision of O5-redacted, O5-redacted, and O5-redacted. M03 Gloria procedures have been indefinitely suspended. Another of the SCP files. This is SCP-003. I think it has an interesting premise to it because it's like a organic circuit board that grows and takes shape of what it's currently, what's currently around it. It seems like in the entry, it was taking on a humanoid form and wanted to communicate, but it never got to the point where it could fully make that before being recontained. I think it's an interesting thing because it seems like it's something that absorbs and assimilates things in order to grow and become in start mimicry of it. So very cool. This is definitely one of the earlier ones. This is definitely one of my favorite ones of the earlier numbered SCPs. Just because it's very interesting and very well thought out with the way its growth is. It does have more of a sci-fi angle to it than a horror one, but then a lot of sci-fi can directly relate back to horror. But yeah, so those are, like I said, those are the creepy pastas we read earlier, and then the SCPs. You can see a lot of how the internet has kind of helped to shape not only horror but modern urban legends. A lot of these SCPs are by fans considered to be like urban legends. Some SCPs you can clearly tell what they're based off of, and some of them are completely original ideas, such as this creature here. Well, it's not completely original. It is and it isn't. Like there are definitely there are elements of other horror creatures and other mythological creatures built into it. But overall, it is a unique idea, being that it's a circuit board that's existed for thousands of years based on organic properties before a known circuit board was ever even created. So definitely very cool. And so moving forward. Like I said, Thursday nights we're gonna start taking these SCPs. And we're gonna be reading them, and we're gonna have a tier maker page as well, and we're gonna tier rank each and every one of these between 1 to 5 stars, and we're gonna based on how original or how cool is the idea of the creature, how well is it described, its overall look. We will take the look of it because everything does have a picture for the most part, and we'll go from there. So if we were doing that right now, um, from everything we got, this SCP-003 would easily be a 4 star. The reason why I'm not giving SCP-003 a 5 star is because I think had they showed us an image of, or at least an interpretation of the image of the sentient creature starting to form, I think it would have been moved up to 5. But since we only get to see just the circuit board, and not the rune itself, and not the rune case holding it, it does kind of lower itself. Even if we just had the rune case, I think that would increase and up its cool ability. But this is in solid 4 out of this would be a solid 4 out of 5. The living room would be a solid. I would say the living room would be a 3 out of 5 because it was very cool. The living room wasn't so foreign of concept that I hadn't immediately thought of other things I've seen based very similar. Again, with that one, they only showed the one image of the outside of the containment center, and there was nothing truly impressive about it. It was neat. It was a very cool concept. But that would have only been 3 out of 5 stars. So just to give you an idea of where we're going with this series when we start this next Thursday. So not this Thursday, but next Thursday. Um, and we're gonna try to do like 10 of these a night because these don't take too long. We've only been streaming for what, an hour and 24 minutes. And we read 2 creepypastas and 2 SCPs with a nice little discussion in the beginning about the origins of SCPs and creepypastas. So that's essentially what we're going to be doing every Thursday, starting next Thursday. So not this Thursday coming up, but next Thursday, is we're going to be going through 8 to 10 SCP entries. We're going to start with Series 1. Eventually, we might start skipping around, but I think we're going to start with Series 1 for now. Every series has 1,000 entries. in it. So that's the big thing. We have a lot to get through. We may skip some. We may go straight to some that sound more interesting. I think for the first couple weeks, we're going to try to get through as many as we can in order, and then and after we do that, we'll decide where we want to go from there. So since we did kind of do 2 and 3, we're going to start with 0 4, the 12 rusty keys of the door, and we're going to try to do from 4 to 14. So we're going to try to end off with the concrete man next Thursday. That's the goal for next Thursday. And like I said, we're gonna have a tier maker page set up, and we're going to rate all the SCPs as we read them. And it's going to be based on the creativity of the SCP, the content of the entry, and if the because every entry does have an image. If the image looks cool, it's going to give it an extra point. So the only way anything's going to make it to a 5 is if the entry is good and it's got a good image. Unless something's so good that we have to disregard the fact that the image may be poor, because the entry was so good. And then what we'll do is after every week, we'll post the results with the SCPs that were included onto Twitter so we can document those. And then we'll carry on every week until we either get to the point where we get through all of them in Series 1, or we get to the point where we're like, no, let's jump around a little bit. Now, eventually, what I plan to do the Thursday before Halloween is I'm gonna do a poll 2 weeks before it, and it was not so much a poll, but an open post. I'm gonna have people suggest what 10 SCPs they want me to do that night from any series, and the top liked ones will be the ones we cover on the Thursday before Halloween. So that is going to be Thursday. Hold on, pulling it up right now. Thursday, October 28th. So I will announce that on Thursday, October 14th on Twitter, and I'll give people 2 weeks to come up with a list of SCPs that they want to see me review, tier list from every series. So yeah, so that's going to be the Thursday night format moving forward, starting next Thursday. That said, did some fun with it. Got to go through the SCP. Doesn't look like it actually changed me over from the creepypasta ever. It looks like it kept me onto the creepypasta page. It's strange that it did that, but it did. Oh, it did. That's fine. It kept me in the Cove, which is fine. You got to listen to my reading, which is the main thing. Boom, now we're on the SCP. Yeah, so let's go over to a game. Play a game here tonight now for the rest of the night. I got this game. It's really cool. It's called West of Dead. This is a roguelike game. It's got a very Western horror feel to it. And those of you who don't know, I'm a huge sucker for wild Western horrors. I think they're super cool. That's one of the reasons why I love Hunt so much. Which Hunt is something I definitely want to play. I just don't know if my computer can take playing Hunt, streaming at the same time. We can try it one. Oh, let's play West Side Dead for now. This one, it has a very Mike Mignola style to it. If you aren't aware of who Mike Mignola is, Mike Mignola is the creator of Hellboy. Got a lot of it's got a very style that's very derivative of Mike Mignola's artwork, which I think is awesome. I don't know if he had anything. I haven't done proper research to find out, but we'll play this for an hour and a half. See how you all feel about this, and if this is something that you all want to see me move on with in the future, we can easily do that. Okay. Got a very cool look and feel to it. So your main character was a lawman who ran afoul of a gang and was killed and sent to purgatory. He was shot in the back of the skull, hence the reason why his skull is broken and set on fire, and hence the reason why his skull is also flaming, a la Ghost Rider. We're gonna continue my run since this is roguelike. It will make me start from the first stage, and instead of teleporting to the 4th stage where I'm at right now, I'm gonna try to go through all the stages leading up to this, and I'll do all the fights leading up to it, so you all can see it.
Here I was again. Barkeep looked like he had something on his mind.
So you don't start off with any weapons, but they do give you some weapons before you go through the first door. Here they are giving me flintlock and farmer shotgun. Not the best combination, but I'll make do. So you see a lot of weapons on the side here. These are weapons I have unlocked. I can't grab them from these pedestals. I wish I could. But they're showing me some of the weapons I have unlocked here so far. Okay, go into combat pretty quickly. Let me run over and turn on the light so I can see what's in here. This will also stun whatever's in here. Alright, we shot him dead before he got to do anything. So that thing hanging up there is a bomb. So if I shoot it down, like so, it's going to drop and it's going to explode. And if I'm in there, it takes like half my life. It's pretty crazy. The gunplay in this is super fun. You use your analog stick to aim, and then you, while you're holding down the weapon, you can aim which direction your gun fires in, which is pretty cool. Very Hades-like combat. Oh, see, see what I mean? I got caught right up in that. Okay, and you can like crouch around things. I thought I was out of that blast. I didn't realize I was going to take that blast to the face. Oh well. Okay, let's go over here. Travel. So you can't travel like this initially. This is something I got from being the first 4 stages, from getting to chapter 2. Now, in here so in here is an item. So I now have a throwing axe I can throw. I can also do throwing axes. Okay. We have the throwing axe. Let's go head over to here, and let's go over to this other exit. Yeah, this is like a mixture of Hades and Diablo set with a supernatural Wild West and formula, and I love it. So, alright, so we can go here. We can up our stats here. When I get to the 3-head, I almost always upgrade my perception, which increases your gunfire.
No man.
Double-barreled pistol. Double-barreled pistol only has 3 rounds, 3 seconds, so it's the same. It's the same ammo, same reload as the flintlock pistol, but it does more damage because it's 10 times 2 versus just 15. Okay. Let me double check, make sure I didn't miss a passageway somewhere. I didn't. Cool. Oh, I did right back there. Let me go back there. Hold on a second. Because that way almost always leads to the end. Look here again. There we go, right there. Right there. There went in here though. Guess not. First wave. Next wave. Okay. Pretty fun gameplay. Oh jeez, he got me good. Oh, I got shot in the face there. I don't have the item to break these yet, so I don't even know how to get past that. It's probably gonna be something I get through one of the later stages I haven't beaten yet. Alright, chest. What kind of items? Here. Music is really cool. I love the music on this. The flare gun. Don't want the flare gun. The flare gun does a lot of damage over 6 seconds. It's only got 1 round, but it reloads very fast. I'm gonna get rid of the shotgun and take the flare gun instead. Okay. Go this way now. Oh, we did that. We can't get through there yet. Okay. And the music's really, really good in this game. I love the graphics. I love the art style they use in this. Like I said, it's very Mike Mignola. I'm a huge Hellboy fan, so the fact that this has such like a Mike Mignola look to it just tickles me.
Things felt different here, like I was on the trail of something mean. and ugly.
Go over here first. Haha, he shot himself out there. Boom. Alright. So what's neat is like those things I'm hiding behind, they aren't permanent. They can be taken down by people shooting them too much. So you do have to keep moving around to the other ones. Like I got lucky enough there that I could sit where I was for a moment and take out the guy in the room. But if he had stronger weapons, he could have just destroyed that eventually on me. Alright. What's also cool is the weapons do have a slight stun to them, so they can stun. Alright. I'm gonna collect that currency. That currency will let me buy stuff, and store my health between levels. It's pretty cool. Go into this room first, into the battle.
I felt the hunger as soon as I saw them. The soul had unfinished business. Couldn't move easy until some task or other were done. I knew just how they felt.
Okay, let's go down. We'll come back up to this place. Yay, health potion. Okay, so that will take me to the next level. We don't want to go there yet because we haven't explored everywhere. So there might be more weapons or upgrades. You definitely want to try to get as many of those as possible. Who's he? The east first. That's new. Oh, is he giving me something? Yeah, I'll take your burden. Why not, Brody? Alright. Thank you. Your burden. All damage you take is vastly increased. Oh boy. Oh boy. But I got a lot of souls for that. And here. Ooh, level 2 axe instead of level 1. I got 2 of them now. That's fine. Okay.
Something about this memory was personal.
That's cool.
The witch had
Haven't seen that
something to
before.
say about it.
Good. Okay. Wasn't too bad. I got like one more left before I'm done with this curse. I have to be really careful or else I'm gonna get taken out. Okay, let's up my toughness. Oh no, we did perception again. Okay, cool.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Okay, so that means my damage is gonna be pretty good right now. Let's go back to this other path here. Oh, this gun's good. This gun's so good. I don't want to give up for it though. Let me give up this first. And then yeah, because that yeah, okay, this gun is so good. Oh, this gun's fun too. Go this way. Go over here. Let's do this over this side. Okay, this takes me to the swamp, which is not where I want to go. Okay, go back over there. So that is further up in the levels. And I'd rather take you all through the journey of the first couple levels. The bad thing is when you die, you start back at that bar. And you have to work your way through. But as you get through the game, you have special ways of getting out. Cool, I got his burden taken care of. Nice. Here. Oh, there's another passage. Oh, this is a big level. That's just a teleport for now, I think. Yeah. That's just a teleport. Cancel out of that. We can use that to get back to the starting stage once we're done here. Okay. And, oh, do I have enough to get this? Because this gun is
Like
amazing.
the trader had something new
Triple
to
shot.
offer.
Okay. The triple shot, the freezer, and... Oh, do I want the triple shot? Or do I want to keep what I have? I'm going to keep what I have. I think the flare guns are really good. Let's go ahead and make sure I didn't miss any passage. I did, right there. Okay, so let's go back to here so I can go down this passage. Okay. Yeah, this game's super cool. I picked this up for, I think it's like $10. Totally worth it. I'm really glad I did because I'm enjoying this muchly. What is that?
Outlaw. I tried to focus on the sweet reward.
What
rather
is
than the
that?
pain to come.
Okay. For authority, this place is ours. Ooh, I got him. First time I ever experienced that. So you're seeing quite a few new things I've never seen before.
Job done. I knew one angry woman who'd be happy to hear it. Well, happier, maybe.
That was cool.
I heard a voice in my head for a moment. His voice. Preacher. I needed to know what it meant. I had to see the witch. For a second, I held something in my hands. The feeling passed, but the memory stuck with me.
Something else in here that does not let me leave? Okay, there we go. I had to wait for the story to go through. I'm like, why isn't it letting me leave? I want the freeze gun. Freeze gun's cool, but it's not what I want. Alright, let's teleport. That's where we are. And we gotta go to the exit, which is down this hallway. Alright. Oh, wrong button. Boom. Gotta be careful, because you can roll off the edges in this. It does take like a quarter of your life every time you do. Alright. Alright. That was really cool. Like I said, I've never seen that before. Let's go to the hunt. That's the nice thing about roguelikes. No two runs of any level will be identical to the other. Like I said, I ran into 2 new things I'd never seen before there, so that was pretty cool.
Witch. She seemed of a mind to talk.
Okay, let's see what kind of secrets it holds. Ooh. All
I
of the
see a
venues.
small boy standing in a big house. Sun from a tall window warms his back. Before him stands an angry man with silver hair, holding a willow switch. The boy stares into the man's eyes defiantly,
Bang.
folding blood-lined palms behind his back. He is not afraid. He is angry.
And was angry.
Well,
Okay, so we had 2 of them, so we have to do 2 of these real quick. go.
I'm young. Maybe 6 or 7. I'm peering through a crack in the cabin door.
Yeah, your memory's kind of shattered from being shot in the back
I
of
can
the
see
head.
5 men standing on the porch outside. One stares at the ground in submission. Father. Blood is running from a cut under his left cheek. The others are counting dollar bills. Their smiles as wide as the moon. Mother pulls me away. She sees my tears and thinks I'm afraid. I'm not. I'm angry.
Angie. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I gotta spend my sins real quick here. Let me purge my sins. Yes, I wish to unburden myself of sin. Thank you. What weapon was I working on? I think the sniper rifle. 29. Let's see if I can get something unlocked here instead. Bender is a guaranteed critical as long as you are under from cover. Oh, hell yeah. Give me that. Give me that. What else we got here? I don't think I can unlock anything else with the 6 souls I have. Let's work on a better health flask next. 6 into this. Alright. Give me this. That's 61. Hell yeah.
I'd used a fair amount of guns in my time. This thing was new to me.
Yeah. Apply that beautiful health. Alright. Go to the next stage. To the hunt. Okay. How's your day been, chat? Been fantastic. Tell me what you did today. We had a very information-heavy first half of the stream, so we didn't chat as much as I was reading to you. Tell me some more. Tell me some stuff. What do you think of this game so far? Is this something you'd like to watch on a regular basis, like maybe once a week, or just here and there, like when we're feeling like chilling out and just doing something fun? Or is this not something you'd be too interested in watching me play? Right, taken out. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Okay. I do enjoy this game. It is a lot of fun. I do have a, I do like roguelikes a lot. Let's take toughness. Get my HP up some. Okay. Go ahead back. We can backtrack now. Like, I love Wild West horror. I don't know why I do so much, but I do. I guess we want to watch something, like a Wild West horror. I'm going to have to look into something that I haven't seen, maybe. We can watch it in Discord. I really want to play more Hunt, but I'm waiting. I want to, There's nothing in here? Oh, he's over there. I was like, is there nothing in here? Am I alone in here? But no, it was just over there. Okay. Let's go. out of there. He's gonna blow you up. Boom. Oh, 121 because I was behind cover. That was pretty sweet. Oh, it's a light, not a box. I'm trying to shoot this thing because I thought it was a box with coins in it. It was a light. Haha. No, that's me. That was not what you thought it was. Here we go. Upgrade box. We're gonna take another toughness because we're already up to level 3 with the firearm damage. And no, more firearm damage. Always take more damage. You can take it. Boom. Was it worth just to get the one big hit? Yes. Yes, it was. Okay, which way do we almost go to this store while we're up here? Holy shit, he threw that thing. Got him. Okay. Got him. As the kids say. Got him. Alright. We're gonna be fight now. Oh, it's a wave one. Okay. Alright. Boom. Wave 1, wave 2, come up now. Boom. Come on, doggo. Come on. Boom. Anything else in here? Wave? Or are we going to the third wave? Didn't go to the last wave, so I think there's... Yeah, there is. Bam. Oh shit, that hit like a truck. That sucked. Holy crap, that hit hard. Wow. 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 Yeah, let's go this way. Oh no, another one of these dudes. Fuck! Got him. Only dude up there though. What's that dude all about up there? I don't know what he was all about because I took him out before he could do anything. Oh yeah. There. Oh, thank you. Thank you for health potion. Oh shit! There are dudes with guns up there. Hiding in the darkness, waiting to shoot me. What jerks. Yay, health pot. Oh no, I'm worried that this is the Wendigo. No? Oh, another outlaw.
Ugly as homemade lights.
Okay, cool. Don't recognize my authority. That's okay. Don't gotta. All you gotta do. Shit, he froze me. Come on, get off me, freeze. I'm gonna die. Okay, there we go. Got him. Haha! Whew, I was worried for a minute there. Like, that freeze thing, that, like, oh, that almost got me. Oh.
It's like they say, the bigger they are, the bigger the bounty.
I'm gonna use my heal. No, I'm okay. I don't need it yet.
For a second, I held something in my hands. The feeling passed, but the memory stuck with me. I heard a voice in my head. Slick, familiar. Bauer's memory. I needed to talk to the witch about it.
Yeah, you need to talk to the witch. Anything else this way? Alright, let me make sure there's nothing backwards. I have... Okay. But I can teleport to that room. Okay. Go here. Yeah, this is a really fun game. Like, I really like this game a lot. I was debating between this and, Dark Vigil, but I'm really glad I got this instead. Okay, that just takes me out of here. So we want to... I go all the way back to... Okay, let's turn down here. There's a crossroad back here. You definitely want to do everything you can in this game, because you want to try to unlock as many things as you can. I did that, so let's go in here. Get more weapons, more stats. Find bosses you didn't know was in here, like I have twice now. Ooh. Heck yeah, we can get rid of the level 1X. This will let me reload faster when I activate it. I definitely don't want to lose this game. I've got 20 sins so far in this round, so I definitely want to make sure this round goes well. Hopefully I don't have to heal. Or should I hopefully I don't have to use my healing pot. Ooh, is that level... No, it's level 2, which I think I already have is level 2. Yeah, I already have a level 2, so it's not better than what I have. It's the same exact gun. I can't break that obstacle. That stinks. Okay. And Lucky 5 is such a good gun. Okay, so that's what that was. Then we can go up. We didn't go up yet. Alright, let's see what's up here. Ooh, there's a combat room. I don't know how I feel about this. What the fuck is that thing? Holy shit! No. Okay. That thing was like something out of a nightmare. Probably gonna be something up here, so I gotta give... Yep, you was done. Oh, we got you, buddy. That's why, because there's an iron box up there. Okay. Alright. Go down here. What is this? Oh, I want that gun to be good, but I just don't think it is. Oh, the salesman. What does he have here for me? He has a level 3 dead shot. But I like my lucky gun better. I think my lucky gun's better. The dead shot can be really good because it gives you like a rapid fire and it reloads real quick. No, we're gonna take the dead shot. How much is it? Now watch this. Yeah. And if you do a perfect aim on something, you actually get a critical hit that hits like for a ton. Yeah, you too, bud. Okay, let me see here. I gotta go back to... It could be a portal, yeah. Back to there. Okay. Super cool. Go through here. There's a dude with a bomb over there. See what I mean? You hit just right, you do like a shit ton of damage.
It looked like hell after the fight. Must have had a dozen or so holes.
I have no holes. What are you talking about? Yay, treasure box. Level 3 axe. I will take it. I have to start using these. Like, I don't use them. I have them, but I'm not using them. I need to start using them. Okay. Let's go over here. Let's see. Right here. Break this wall down. Break the wall down. Oh, there's some dynamite, but I can't get past that door. Okay, let's take a look at the map. Anything else that I haven't explored? I can't remember if that was another door I couldn't break down past up there. I think it was. I think it was something I couldn't get past. But we're gonna go back and check because I can't remember. And it's on the way back to where we need to go anyways. I think this is something I couldn't get past. Feel like there's something else here. Else in here though. Who knows? Yeah, it was another door I couldn't get past because there's a it was a too heavy iron door. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, where's my exit? Exit is up there. Let me go back. Okay, go over to the exit now. Right. Ooh, we made it. All right. Oh yeah, fam. All right. Let's go talk to the witch. Another memory unlocked. Hell yeah. We should have more than enough to get the upgraded health flask too, which is nice.
I see a boy standing in a schoolhouse. A tall, red-faced woman shouts at him, pointing at a chalkboard. At its top are the words, God's creations. Below it are other words, written in varied childish strokes and curves. At the very bottom, someone has written 2 words, Eden's serpent.
Oh, Eden's serpent. Oh boy. We're getting further down to that, at the second tier of the circle. Okay. health class from the armory. Let's go ahead and upgrade the armory, I think. Let me just look here. Vampire Blade. Can absorb health from enemies. That's kind of cool. Bolt gun. Very short range, but amazingly powerful. Also causes critical hit on stun enemies. Oh. That could be nice. Rack and Ruin. Designed for the spray and pray mythology. 16 rounds? Oh, that takes forever to load. That's still 16 rounds. Holy cow. Let's put points into the armory, I think. Next. I wish you can just save up sin, but you have to spend it all before they let you leave. Got 2 of them. I got my flasks. I don't need to refill the flask. What's next? The mines. Let's head on into here. Alright, partner. Let's head on in. I want to take the cowboy hat asset for when I play this game. Alright. I have to look up one, see if I can find one. I'll just make one. Especially once I get my 2D model finished. Which is being done as we speak. It's being worked on. I'm super excited about that. Limmy's actually working on it as we speak. Anyone else want to come mess with me? No? Good? Sure? You good? Alright, give me your iron. 1 sin for those sinners. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited to ditch this V-Roid model. Not that V-Roid's bad. Like I said, I'm grateful that V-Roid allowed me to start this much sooner than I would have without it. But at the same time, oh, I cannot wait to get rid of it. Don't want to sound ungrateful, but I cannot wait. More iron. Yeah, nothing up here. Seems like all my enemies are going to be down below here. What the hell is that big glowing sack? It looks like a bulbous... Oh, it's for pack food. Oh, he blew up. Okay. Yay, health. Give me that health. Give me that health. Hell yeah. I deserve that health. I deserve all that health. Yeah, like I like 3D models, don't get me wrong. I like 2D models because of the detailed and different styles you can get out of it, which you can get from 3D models if you have a really good modeler. But 3D models are super duper expensive to get a good one, and I really want to get away from the animation style. The anime style, should I say. There's a certain style I want to have, and just anime is not it. I love anime, so I'm not saying anything about anime. I love watching anime, and anime is great. It's just not the style that I want to convey. Boom. Anyone else want to go? Got plenty more iron where that came from. I'm ready for y'all, partners. Saddle on up. Let's go. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. That was just a sick firefight right there. It was like boom, they were down. Okay, let's see, that goes up to 2 more health, I think. Boom, look at that health upgrade.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Health upgrades, hell yeah. Go sideways first. Let's go sideways and hope this doesn't all go sideways. Giddy up. Damn, I wanted to... Come on, come down here. Further away from your buddy. I didn't dodge. Shit. Alright, they're down. Hell yeah, we got them. Got them, fam. Like I said, I always feel bad whenever I say that, because I always feel like I'm being a little bit, pretentious, but, like, I love anime. I love anime to death. I really do. It's just, I feel for my brand and what I'm trying to do, anime doesn't quite work. For some people it does, but I don't know, like I said, it's just not how I envision as me. Boom, you're down. Oh shit! One of those rock creatures. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Got him. Oh yeah. Alright, let's go turn on that light over there. Never hurts to turn on the light. On the light. Yeah, it's just a general teleport. I was hoping it would take me somewhere maybe where there might be a weapon or something, but no. Okay. What's in here? Oh. Bring it on, little doggies. Alright, we got it. We got it. It's down. It's down and out for the party. I really need a cowboy hat for this. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know. I'd like to explain it though. Like I said, I always feel bad whenever I say that because I'm like, oh no, I hope people don't think I'm being pretentious because I'm not. I got a level 3 dead shot, so there's nothing to upgrade there. I always feel like I just don't want to sound like slamming an art style that I truly love. I was obsessed with drawing anime for the longest times. I used to get in trouble in art school because my teachers would always want me to draw in some other style. And this is like younger days. I was never quite excellent at anime style though. So I kind of wish I would have listened because there was other styles that I was much better at. But I was so obsessed with just doing that style. It was crazy. Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's go this way. What did this buddy want to do? Shit! That hurt. One. What do you mean I didn't dodge? Oh, that was almost very bad. That was almost a really dumb death that I didn't need to take. Kill though. What gun is that? Sawed-off shotgun. How much damage does this baby do? Oh, 62 and it's same. Yeah, we're gonna take that. Got a shorter range, but that's fine.
This thing can do some real damage.
Hey, what's up, bud? No, I know anything I need today. Have some health pots, and I would be totally into those. I can't go that way yet. Let's open up the map. Let's see where. Okay, we gotta go down. We can walk. It's not too far. Yeah, if that defender rifle would have had a long range to it, I would have kept that. But since it doesn't, if they're both going to be short range, I might as well just go with the sawed-off. It does more damage. And I don't have to have any kind of prerequisite of hiding behind something. Yeah, there's dudes in here. Let me heal up real quick before I go in there. Okay. A little bit better now. Going into this fight. More health. Okay. Anyone else want to do this? Oh, you do. You're a big boy. You was a big 'em. Bam, you down? Anyone else? Good? No, we good. We good. Okay, health pot. Woohoo! Stat up. Hell yeah. Give me those stats. Upgrade toughness. Yes. Upgrade the toughness. Give me more health. More health. Okay, is there anywhere else that I didn't get to go down? Nope, everything there is something I just couldn't get into for some reason. So let's go to this crossroad here. Let's go to the next stage. Yeah, so what's happening here is I already beat the bosses in these stages, so they were giving me like those outlaws and stuff like that instead of the main bosses. That's what I think what happened there, because I beat them. But as we go into the next stage, we'll be getting to a stage I haven't beaten. Wait, what? Why can't? That's not it. Damn, that's not where I needed. I thought that was the exit. I guess not. Okay, that's not the exit. Where the hell's the exit? Oh, it's up there. I went to the wrong one. That's where I should have gone in the first place. Hell yeah. Aww. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, I can't get down there yet. I need another item that I haven't gotten yet. Whoosh. Yeah, this is it. Alright. Level 4, here we come. With 21 sins and quite a bit of iron, so we can heal. We should be able to heal up to full. Okay, let's put it into the well-stocked armory first. Dose is 3 for the large health flask. We're gonna put them in the large health flask. Even though the armory sounds cool, getting this should be priority. Full? That's full. Okay, we full. Let's go to the next stage. Full health. Alright. Let's go.
Sin hung in the air so thick it was like walking into a thunderhead. I could feel it. Something hungry and wrong, real
Something
close.
hungry and wrong. Nom nom nom. And wrong. Real close. Oh.
Yeah, as ugly as homemade sin.
He was right there. They're ready for me. Damn, I didn't hit him once. Oh, wasn't expecting all that worry, buddy. Yeah. You took my hidey hole. Oh shit. He's gonna come back over eventually. Come on. Oh, he's got ricocheting bullets? What's up with that? Oh, it's ricocheting. Damn it. Got him. Haha. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. What the hell? Got a freaking machine gun. Got him. Oh yeah, we used the axe to get him.
Nothing better than seeing a little bit of evil leave the world. And
Hell
this
yeah.
outlaw weren't little.
That evil out of this world. Get that evil out of this world. Outlaw defeated. Beat his ass. Yeah. I beat the outlaw in the face.
Another exit. No idea where it led.
Oh,
Maybe
got tense.
closer to the preacher. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Only way I'd find out was by going through.
Hell yeah, let's go. Find out if we're gonna get closer to the preacher. Yeah, little doggies. Just dump all these into the flask. I feel like that's too big of a deal to let slide. Alright, let's go on to here. Go to the next stage. Back we go. Alright, here we go. Through the swamp. This is where I've been stuck at. I haven't beaten the stage yet. Boom. Oh shit! I didn't even see him there until he hit me. Son of a bitch. That was a big chunk of life, too. Damn it. Damn. That hurt. So shotgun blast I shouldn't have taken. Bought off shotgun. What do I have? I have level. Oh, increase level 3 to level 4? Hell yeah. Let's get a even slightly more powerful sawed off shotgun. Okay, let's up my gun power. Hope that was.
Too old or dead. To learn something.
Hope that wasn't a mistake. I have a feeling this is a boss room. See that big thing in there? I think that's a boss. We should come back to this. Let's go search the rest of this place. We'll come back. I have a feeling that's a boss. I'm fairly certain it is. Okay, let me see here. All the way back up. So let's just teleport up there. Alright, let's go. Yep, there's another direction right there. Boom. Boom. And we got 2 ways to go. Go this way first. Anything else in here? That was it. Okay, cool. Cool. No guys waiting to shoot me. I was worried about that. Yeah, treasure box. What is this? Double-barreled pistol. Level 5 double-barreled pistol. Not better than what I have, though. I'm gonna stick to what I have. Yeah, this Deadeye is too good, and then the sawed-off shotgun is just a beast of a gun. As long as things are close. I can't in good faith get rid of that. If I turn on the light before I start rolling around, there's a trap in there. Would have sucked. Health pot, yeah. Give me them health pots. You got nothing but weapons for me. I don't need them. I'm pretty good with what I have. Especially when the random weapons, you don't know what you're gonna drop, so you could just feel like you just wasted your money. Let me see, was there any other pathways I didn't take yet? Nope, we just have the boss now. Okay, let's go back into here and go take his teleporter. Oh, this boss is probably gonna be hard. Hopefully we don't regret this, fam. Don't know what it's gonna be, but we'll find out in a second. That wasn't a boss. He died super fast. I got freaked out for nothing. Oh shit! Got the gun. I didn't see him over there. Anyone else in here that wants to shoot at me or do something to hurt me? You good? You good? Okay. I got worried for nothing. That wasn't a boss. That wasn't a boss. It was just a big dude who I could take out. Damn it. That's fine. Still went and cleared out all that other way. This is gonna be the boss I'm killing. Okay. I don't know what that is. It was hard though. I hurt. Ooh. I had to pop my flask in there, or else I would have died. Two directions I can go. Shit! Shit! What the hell was that? I was stuck in a leg trap. Okay. I was like, what the hell's hitting me? That sucked. Oh no. Straight down. What is this? Flare gun. No thank you. Okay, that's just the exit. I'm not gonna take it though.
I didn't know where it
I know there's
went,
another room.
but any place away from here
I gotta
seems
go.
pretty good.
I gotta go to the room. Even if it's dangerous. Even if it's dangerous, fam, I gotta go to the room. It's just how the West goes. You gotta take that danger. Oh, better axe, right? That level 4 axe? Switch out. Take that danger. Oh. Oh, we did it, but at what cost? Okay, that quick handle level 4. Heck yeah. Oh, I'm almost dead. I hope there's nothing. Okay, cool. No boss in this stage looks like. Excellent. Just hard. How do I do that?
I pitied whoever crossed me next.
Yeah, me too. With my next to no health and one more hit gonna take me out. Make sure there's nothing else I missed. Just that little. I think this was the cliff I couldn't get down right there. We'll go look real quick though. Pretty sure that's a cliff I couldn't get down. Yes, that's the cliff I couldn't get down. Okay. Alright, let's get out of here to the next stage. That was rough. Those trappers were a pain in the butt. They had a ton of hit points and just their traps hit like a truck. Okay, let's see what else is here. Yes, I'm going to finish off a large flask upgrade, thank you. A well-stocked armory next. Yeah, I'm supposed to get 3 charges out of this, which is nice. Take all 3 of those. I have no choice, I needed it. Alright, to the town. See what we gotta fight here. I wonder if this is gonna be a map or if this is just gonna be a fight.
You could taste the terror in the air here. A town is only as good as its people, and fear corrupts just as surely as any dollar.
Yeah, just as surely as any dollar. Damn it. I don't know if you're shit anymore. Have a gunfight with me? I'll give you a gunfight. Jerk face. Jerk face McGee. Shooting me in the head like that. Okay. Can I break through that balloon door there? No, I can't. Okay. Come. Boom. He got to take his shot, but it wasn't a good shot though. I had a shotgun ready for him. I was ready. Ooh, another guy take on my
I
sin.
felt the hunger as soon as I saw them.
Okay.
This soul
Yeah, let's
had
take on your sin.
unfinished business. Couldn't move east until some task or other were done. I knew just how they felt.
I'm bound here. Don't worry, I'll take on your sin for you, buddy. Go to your kid. Yep, I'll take it. Give me your burden. Yeah, whatever. Worst case scenario, I die. And 6 enemies, okay. So it's just like the last one. Ton of souls. And some... Yeah? Ooh, upgrade to my gun.
I felt my skin
Oh no.
burn. Then, nothing.
I don't know which one to take. Too good, right? I take it. That do 10 seconds, 60 HP. 75 HP. No. Okay, we'll take the dynamite though. Who knows? Maybe it's for something? Move over this. Okay, let's go.
Maybe the witch would know the meaning of all this.
Go this way. Let's go down first.
The odds started to tip in my favor.
Did they though? Okay, let me see. What are we up here? Yeah, let's get some extra health here. Extra health, please. Oh, hell yeah. What is that? More health. More health. Okay. I will always take more health. Let me see, does this do anything special or is it just a teleporter? Just a teleporter. Go down here. Always take more health. Hell yeah. I reckon. Yowzers. Shit! Shit! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it, I died. Now we gotta start all the way back from the beginning. Only bad thing about roguelites. Oh. All that progress gone. That's okay.
The barkeep seemed eager to dole out some advice.
Well, I think that's a good place to call it for the night. Thank you so much everyone for coming. I hope you enjoyed that preview of what we're going to be doing on Thursday, starting next Thursday with the SCP stuff. I really enjoyed, doing that part of the stream. I enjoyed playing this for you all. We may keep this as one of the comfy games when we're not in the mood to play ID5, because it is like it's not something I can play over and over and over again. Because once you die too many times, the frustration starts to sit in. Another thing I'd like to try to play on stream is Hunt Showdown. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream that with my model or not. I may have to switch to PNG for that one, because it is a rather graphical intense game, and my system does. I do feel that with the model running, it may slow it down. We'll try it though. We'll try it. We'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there. So we'll try it one night. I know even this playing this gave me like 484 slow frames, so that's not good, but still. All right, so that said, I will see everyone on Thursday this week. This Thursday, we are going to do an art stream where I'm feeling the art burnouts lifting. So we're going to do some art. We're going to finish up the Sleepless Rambles dolly. We are going to start working on we're going to do a dolly for Limmy as a thank you for modeling, for grading our model, who is super awesome. But yeah, so Thursday, I'll see you for a chat and art stream. We'll be talking about horror movies. So watch something, have something to talk to me about. I actually do have a series I want to talk about. It's the third season of Slashers, called Solstice. We'll be talking about that. And if you all have anything else you want to talk about, please watch some stuff, get some stuff ready. I can't wait to talk to you all about some movies while we do some art and just chill. We'll talk about other things too. We'll come up with some other spooky topics to come up with. So I will see you Thursday. Have a wonderful week. Safe. And until next time. Well, let's see if there's anyone to raid real quick. I didn't think to do that. Let me see if there's anyone to raid. Got a couple viewers here. See who's on. Let us see who's on to raid. Who we gonna raid today? Come on, load up. Also raid Demon Queen BB. Demon Queen BB is super awesome, and I like them. Like they're really cool. They do amazing artwork. Really great models that they do too. So we're gonna go raid Demon Queen BB. So let's go ahead over. Alright, raid is starting up as we're counting down. We can raid your friend next time, Zombro. Counting down. So when you go over, if you have access to the emojis, please spam them and make sure you let them know that you're coming from the mirror shade. Say hi to BB for me. Alright, here we go.